Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Sunday, June 6th service with Unity in Harlem. We're so happy that you chose to attend. Our order of service today will be the reading of Unity's daily word and Unity in Harlem's affirmation. You will have a guided meditation and practical message from Reverend Carol Hunt. Prayers, musical selections, and announcements. And at the close of today's service will be the prayer of protection and the unison singing of Let There Be Peace on Earth. And now we'll have the reading of the daily word read by Heather. Thank you, Heather.
Daily Word reading, Sunday, June 6th, 2021. Healing. My thoughts, words, and actions affirm divine life. Today I give thanks for the constant activity of divine healing life, especially when my body is experiencing illness. To bolster my awareness of my capacity for healing, I place my attention on my inherent wholeness. I affirm life in my thoughts, my words, and my actions as I care for my body and meet its needs. My faith assures me that illness is not the truth of me, nor is it my enduring reality. Through my actions, I am affirming wholeness as my true nature and encouraging my healing. Even when I am not facing illness, I greet each day by blessing my body, affirming my wholeness, and ongoing activity of divine life in every organ, every cell. I give thanks for the gift of divine life by giving thanks for my healing and living joyously. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." Reading from Luke, chapters 8, verse 48.
Isaiah 55, verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, the things that we create with our thoughts, our prayers, that spirit resonates with. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of happiness. I know that God is always there, and every thought becomes a prayer. A thought is what we create our lives with. Our thoughts, that spirit resonates with. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness and happiness. Our prayers, our prayers, our prayers, our thoughts, our thoughts, our prayers, our prayers, our thoughts, our thoughts, our prayers. What if God was listening? Mommy and Daddy all listening to every thought. What would you think? Oh, our thoughts are prayers. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. What a beautiful rendition of Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Perhaps making it even easier to flow into the idea and remember the very thoughts that we have. We are signaling this is what we want from our hearts and in our lives. Thank you, Marie, for a beautiful presentation. Thoughts are indeed prayers, and we can be mindful of what those prayers are. Thank you to Annette, Purnell, and Heather Wilson, and Bob Poncé for opening our service. And now we will continue with an opportunity to get quiet and still and prepare ourselves for entering into that quiet time that so easily does become the prayer of our heart. And so I invite you now to become still. Whatever it is that you do to become comfortable in your place, do that now and close your eyes. Close your eyes to any distractions that could be before you. And then think about those thoughts that go across the screen of your mind and let them go. Let them go. Focus on your breath, your breathing. Connect with your breathing, the rhythm of your breathing. Feel the quiet rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. I breathe in, I breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in and out, you become aware of those places in your body. You're in tune to your body and know those places where it might be difficult to simply breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Take inventory of your body. And exhale to those places that might feel uncomfortable. And any part of your body where you may feel stress or tension, breathe into those places and exhale slowly to them, relaxing them, relaxing them. Breathe in deeply, exhale slowly. Breathe in again deeply. And exhale slowly. As you breathe in again this time, breathe in deeply, slowly. Fill your lungs and hold the breath. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. And 1,000. And now exhale the breath slowly. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 4 1,000, 5 1,000. You feel quiet. You feel still. Returning to normal breathing. And breathe in and breathe out. Aware of that space as you breathe in and then breathe out. That still point as you pray, as you breathe. Breathe in, the still point. Breathe out, the still point. Breathe in, the still point. Breathe out, the still point. Continue breathing in and out, aware of that quiet space, the still point. Other thoughts do not come in so quickly, and when they do, you can simply go back to the breath. Breathe in, the still point. Breathe out, the still point. In this quiet place, we can remember the theme of healing. The healing of mind, body, and feelings. We can release and let go any anxiety about the healing process in our body temple. In this space, let us affirm what we know to be true. I am the omnipresence of spirit here now. All body parts, all inner body parts respond to the clear voice of spirit. It calls for everything to come up higher, out of any space of doubt or negativity. Calls us to see our body spaces, every molecule, every atom, every cell, Visualize this now, standing tall and ready to express exactly as intended. Call forth these cells and parts in you now and allow them to express who they are as creations of the spirit within. And affirm, I am one with the omnipresence of spirit. I am healed now of any doubt, of any separation, of any negativity I hold for the full expression of spirit through me as me. I bless all the parts of my inner body. Bless them and thank them for all that they do, for all that they are, and keeping my body whole and complete. I rest in the assurance that this is the truth of who I am, and that I seek to be this full expression of spirit. I let go and let the God in me as me express itself in complete healing in my body now. I think of my thoughts and thoughts that I may have that are not fully aligned to the spirit. I release these thoughts and hold to the vision. I am one in the divine manifestation, starting with my thoughts. I see myself blessing my body. I see myself saying words of thankfulness to my feelings. And any feelings that I might have that do not support the full expression of who I really am, I let them go. In the quiet of the moment, in the silence of the now, I let them go. any thoughts of stress, tension, anxiety, strain. These are but a covering for the free flow, unencumbered of spirit in me. I welcome spirit. Give thanks for the spirit that expresses as me now. And affirm once again, I manifest divine health that flows through me now, and I am grateful. I begin to think about returning to the quiet space right where I am. I feel comforted, relaxed, restored, and to the whole idea of remembrance of the spirit in me now, expressing itself. I take a deep breath. I exhale the breath. I take another deep breath. And exhale. I feel energized, alert, alive, and ready for all that will come. Let us know all of this in the name of our way shower, Jesus the Christ. Amen. My friends, welcome to the next few moments while we delve into an area that I know sometimes is very perplexing, and that we carry a lot of thoughts about why we can't live in a less violent society, less violent to one another in thoughts and actions. Of course, there are many reasons as to why this experience and phenomenon is so much a part of life where we are, and not just where we are. As we read and look out into the larger world, violence is like everywhere present. We speak of spirit being everywhere present. And violence seems to be that way sometimes. This month, we are going to be examining and reflecting on the issue of nonviolence. And sometimes perhaps looking at some of the very human reasons we are not experiencing nonviolence. And even looking at some of the spiritual suggestions as to why we are not experiencing nonviolence. In the end, we want to really know that we have the capacity to be nonviolent on many levels of life. We can commit to being nonviolent. And we have had demonstrations of this in our generation, in former generations, and even, would you believe, right now. The dictionary defines violence as a behavior that it's not innate. It's a behavior that involves the use of physical force that is intended. The use of it has an intention behind it to harm, hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. So let us remember that this is a behavior that is deliberately taken on to be violent. It is not though a child is born and coming into consciousness decides the role in life for me will be to be violent. Not so. And now the same definition applies to an individual when they reflect to themselves, oh, how surprised they were at the violence in their feelings. The violence in their feelings. I have remembered in the past reading about individuals who were fearful, very fearful about releasing anger for fear that they would explode or just be so out of control they would never be able to bring themselves back to who they thought they are or were. Really questioning how surprised they were at the violence in their feelings. And we have thought about or heard people saying, oh, that man ticked me off so much I was ready to. You can put in any word you want. Or so-and-so is lucky that I didn't decide to. Behavior taken on with an intention. The world of or field of law also has a definition as well. The unlawful use of physical force or intimidation by the exhibition of such force. And oh my, haven't we just been educated in this unlawful use? We all know it existed. But with social media and the fact that something happens in 1 second, the next second practically, everybody knows. The unlawful use of physical force. We do not need examples of any of these definitions of violence because we see them every day, whether it is globally or locally. Some are sanctioned by the law, and others are supported by the collective consciousness of the general public. See it, know it, and keep right on going. What did Martin Luther King say? History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition, and that was in the 60s, was not the strident clamor of bad people, but the appalling silence of good people. Perhaps if he were here today, he would say that the clamor of bad people has caught up with the silence of good people. Now let's see what Webster says about nonviolence. The use of peaceful means, not force, no force, to bring about political or social change. For the moment, I think that definition is something we should hold on to. Peaceful means as it relates to politics and social change. Sometimes we go looking for peace in areas that are not quite the area that would yield peace. So that remembering that the use of peaceful means as it relates to politics, to the political and social change, is an important part of nonviolence. Mahatma Gandhi said, nonviolence is the weapon of the strong. How about that? We know what the weapons are of those who take on with intent violence. When it comes to nonviolence, Gandhi suggests that our weapon Being strong is our weapon. Or you could say, taken from the scriptures, this idea of an eye for an eye. You do to me something, boy, am I ready to do it back to you, only ends up making the whole world blind. Attempts by man to use peaceful and not force to bring about change in the political or social order has been documented the world over and in our personal worlds as well. Think of the many times you have been involved or aware of the use of peaceful tools and methods to resolve an issue or systemic problem. Some of them have been hunger strikes, for instance, demonstrations and marches everywhere. And in America, one of the main ones, the Women's Suffrage Parade in 1913, which I'm sure has had ripple effects across the globe. And today, women are still working out, trying peaceful means to bring about change. In the religious world, a former Jesuit priest, Father John Deere, spelled D-E-A-R, is active in the peace and nonviolent movement. He has been arrested 75 times and nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize by Desmond Tutu. He calls people to practice gospel nonviolence in the tradition of Gandhi and Martin Luther King. He has written so many books on nonviolence, one of which is titled The Nonviolent Life. Another is his interpretation of the Beatitudes. I invite you to look him up and read about him. Most remarkable. Father Deere has created the nonprofit organization called the Beatitude Center for the Nonviolent Jesus. The Beatitude Center for the Nonviolent Jesus. I like that. In his book titled The Beatitude of Peace, he writes about the first beatitude. We know it well. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I have always been fascinated by this one because it speaks to the reason why people who are mired in poverty, addiction, war, and all the other ills that we could name, and that they are in crisis because of it. Every major issue is trying to fix these issues, and it's spoken of as a crisis. The people are in crisis. What they need to right the problems are in crisis. The resources to get them are in crisis. And this is one of his quotes, in part. One way to move toward poverty of spirit, blessed are the poor in spirit, by recognizing and accepting that we are broken and powerless, he says. Each one of us has been hurt by the culture of violence. We are all wounded, and most of us are in denial about the existence of our own wounds. This translates into holding on to the spirit, lowercase, of pain from being hurt by parents, siblings, the culture we live in, racism, sexism, poverty, and war. When we face what he calls brokenness, we accept our need for others and our need for God. Father Dear is saying what Unity is saying, just in maybe a slightly different way. The more we give up the spirit of negativity, lowercase spirit, and come to the realization of dependency on God within, you can know the kingdom of God is yours. His language of powerlessness and brokenness has some validity. As long as you feel broken, as long as you feel powerless, you are not in a blessed consciousness. And you know, we interpret the word blessed to be happy. So these negative elements of consciousness that has played out in your life and my life and other lives to create the crisis, they are truly the entryway into the consciousness of the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven in you. Father Dear might say, as demonstrated by Jesus and how he lived. There are times in society when this has happened and major shifts in consciousness have occurred. I'm just going to name a couple of them. There was the singing revolution in 1987. The singing revolution. This happened in Estonia. Thousands of people who have lived under one dictatorship from one generation to another generation, after another, together came together singing patriot songs with passion about their country and how they have lived, and what they believed those words for their world meant. The numbers grew and grew. They weakened the Soviet government and paved the way to restore Estonia to be a free nation. The singing revolution. Who would have thought? Here's another one. Medals heard around the world, it's called. Medals heard around the world. In 1968, at the Olympics, 2 U.S. track medalists stood in the winner's circle with raised fists to raise awareness globally of the turmoil going on in America at the time. Let us not forget the impact of that on our society, which is a part of the legacy that has ushered in where we are now. And of course, I couldn't leave these couple of examples without saying the Great Pause, which has brought about a worldwide shift. There is a story I'm familiar with. During the first teachers' strike in New York City, there was violence. Not with hands and fists, but with words that were filled with anger, distrust, going back and forth between government, parents, teachers, unions, and the general public, some for, some against, and each ready to do what is necessary for what they believed as for or against. As it turned out, the union for the teachers and those representing the public school system were each discussing strategies in buildings close to Unity Center at 58th Street. Seeing the center, both came looking for a place, a neutral place, to first strategize and meet face to face later. Eric Butterworth, minister, offered the center at different times for each group, and when they were ready to meet together, they were welcomed. Eric Butterworth, did not favor one group over the other. He treated them equally the same. There is something subtle and at depth in blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Perhaps this means the kingdom, in fact, I know the kingdom of heaven is devoid of taking sides and is never puts forth a right or a wrong. The kingdom within is love and peace, among other great things. When can anyone be for or against love and peace? I had my own version of the Beatitude. I sort of went for a win, win, win in the world of work. The two parties in contention would reach a solution by my identifying what was the same between them. The two parties came into an agreement, and guess what? I too won. There was less contention in the workplace. Employees who entered my office feeling unheard and misunderstood left feeling heard and their issue resolved. I think to respond from the kingdom within us is to respond without taking sides. If anyone you know is poor in spirit, or you yourself feel that way this afternoon or at any time, we are saying, Father dear, and Jesus is saying, you're in the best place to experience the kingdom, the spirit uppercase. To respond from the kingdom within is again to respond without taking sides. If anyone you know is poor, remember, this is the best place to be to experience the kingdom. What does nonviolence look like? Do not take sides. Do not take sides. Instead, do the truth. Do the truth. Some suggestions. Go within. Release the negative. Face which side you are on. Your side. Identify what is the kingdom. And now do it. Be it. Be the kingdom. We have it. The kingdom is within. Jesus said in John 17, I have come for them to know that the Father and I are one. It is oneness. And in that oneness is the answer. In that oneness is the opportunity to practice living nonviolently. Blessings to all of you as we seek to be what we are truly called to be. As we prepare for our prayer requests and love offering, the visual today, which shows a statue in complete stillness and quiet. I think it's a rendition of the Buddha, but that quietness, that stillness, is neither for or against. It simply is. It is the truth. And that's what that statue conveys. Something to strive for from within out. Prepare your heart now to go within and be part of this circle, here and beyond, of the desires of the heart that we call prayer. And let our prayer be one of oneness, and seeing the wholeness and oneness in others, and respond and relate to being one within themselves and one with others. We are already one. All that we need to experience the wholeness that we are, the centeredness, the silence that we are, we have. Now affirm this and know it to be a step in growth and understanding. Sometimes we are required to simply be quiet. Don't respond. Simply be. Be the peace. Be the quiet. Be the stillness. And we can know when it's time to speak and do. Let us always remember to go within, seek guidance. Seek guidance and feel the truth and know the truth of simply being still, quiet, free of any one side or the other. And now, staying in this same consciousness, we come in this giving spirit. We give from the flow that has come to us and through us. And as we give, it returns to us. And the flow continues. As we give, so we receive. The as, it is as we give in consciousness, as we give in our thoughts about giving. So we receive. We give thanks for all those who continue to support this giving in consciousness, for it allows Unity in Harlem to give. That we too are a part of this flow. As we give, so we receive. We are blessed with this opportunity, and we remember the words that are on your screen. I will say them and then repeat them. You repeat them with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Can we all know it together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. So be it.
Thank you, Reverend Carol, for the prayers. And now for today's announcement and those of the coming week. Please join us immediately after service today for fellowship. On Zoom, the ID number is 698-428-2725. And by phone, the phone number is 929-205-6000. 6099 with a passcode of 7777777. Our spiritual fitness meditation for the month of June is available every day for 30 days. The phone number is 712-770-4169, and the code is 360392. The Tuesday study group meets from 6 to 8 p.m. The book is Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. By Zoom, the ID is 698-428-2725. And by phone, it's 929-205-6099 with a passcode of 7777777. We welcome you to Friday Unity in Harlem Prayer Circle, where you can ask Reverend Carol to have a prayer for you and with you. The prayer circle meets from 6 to 7 p.m. The Zoom and phone numbers are the same as those of the Tuesday study group. Unity in Harlem has a special feature. It's called Gospelgram, and you can find it on Unity in Harlem's Facebook page. Next Sunday, June 13th, the talk will be The Face of Nonviolence, Be Strong, and it will be read with Reverend Marion Gambardella. This ends the announcements. And now we will have a musical selection with Marie. Thank you, Marie.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. 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 Get out the way and let God do his thing. Look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change it if you wanted to. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. This is the get out the way dance. Get out the way. Oh, get out the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing. Sun's gonna shine, the river's gonna flow, tide's gonna rise without your say so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, dig it up and see how it's growing. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Running around fixing this and that, giving up to God and taking it back. Oh, all this drama, it just ain't good for you. Get out of the way You couldn't change it if you wanted to. Get out of the way. Just look at that weight of the world on your back. Get out of the way. Oh, all that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change it if you wanted to. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Sun's gonna rise, river's gonna flow, tide's gonna rise without your say so. The universe is flowing, don't it feel good? Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Come on, you don't plant a seed and then dig it up and look at the roots. What? Let God do the growing. Come on, get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing. He's growing you. He's growing me. He's growing my roses outside. Oh, yeah, get out of the way. Stop running around and helping everybody. Stay in your lane. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Yeah. Peace.
Just great, Marie. Great, upbeat, and full of energy. Wouldn't you agree, Bob?
Absolutely, absolutely. Get out the way and let God do his thing.
So, I think now we're at the point in the service for the prayer of protection.
And I have a
And so we are going to join in listening to that now. And there we have it on our screen. Perfect. And so we're going to say it together, but we will not hear one another. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our final part of the service, our closing, singing the prayer of protection, and a reminder that we meet directly after on Zoom. And the information is given, and I look forward to seeing you all. Even if you can't stay the whole time, pop in and say hello. There we have it on the screen once again. So are we ready?
I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to pull one from the archives. Our own Tommy Thompson sent. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can't hear me. Okay. Hold on.
Well, we see it on the screen, and we're ready to sing.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Okay, good. So what I was saying is I have a special treat for our peace song today. We're going to pull it out of the archives, and it's a rendition of the peace song. We are going to go with Mr. Tommy Thompson. So here it goes.
Wow.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin